solving problem using EM algorithm. Got it? So now, just put in your mind these two steps. What is that? First, we'll calculate expected value. First, I need to have data in the set, and then consider the Gaussian distribution probability of each. For each x1, x2, and xn, we need to x1, x2 means you analyze as a student. First student, second student, so on, 14 students, and probability Gaussian distribution is taken. Okay, and to find, initially we start with H0. Initial parameter should be known, no? So H0 is taken with mu and sigma. Sigma indicates variance, mu means mean. Mean means what? Average. Average value is taken, and variance means what? That squared value will be taken. Variance means the variation, difference square will be taken as variance. Okay, and then this is the consideration what we do here, and then the procedure. We need to do iteration for 0, 1, 2, 3. We need to repeat the steps that many times. Okay, so first step is done here, taking hidden variables into consideration for first instance. Okay, so what is the formula given? E of Zij will be equal to, the probability formula is taken here. Okay, for x equal to xi, mu equal to mu I, and the total. Got it? So we consider this for two distributions. Okay, before let's explain that, we'll see that in next slide. And then, is this point clear? How to find expectation means we go for probability formula. Probability formula for first one divided by the total. Understood? So I have taken only two numbers here, x1 and x2 only, two students taken. Got it? So this is the formula to find out the expectation. This expectation formula in S&S, signals and systems, you might have studied. Okay, just to recap here, probability by total, probability of 1 and probability of 2, plus here will be done, summation is done. Then in the second step, maximization step. So what we do here, we go for finding mu. We go for finding mu value. So the expectation value is taken, multiplied with instance. That is under summation, divided by expectation summation. Okay, for two x1 and x2 will be considered here. Okay, this is the formula for finding maximization. And then here we use the hidden expectation, isn't it, as I already explained. And hypothesis, we have considered many hypotheses can be taken. For our example, we have used only mu and sigma, that is mean and variance is taken. Got it? And then let's see how we do this, taking one example. So the example is taken as two distributions here. Distribution 1, whose values are -2 and 2. For distribution 2, that is hypothesis 2. Okay, so mu2 and sigma 2 here. Sigma is same value, so it is indicated as sigma. It is not mentioned as sigma 1 and sigma 2. Got it? So 3 and 2. Okay. So what are the two questions? I mean, what is the problem in the question given? Two distributions given whose values mu1 and mu2 are varying, whereas sigma is same. Okay, these are the inputs given, and probability of each distribution is 0.5. Probability of each distribution is 0.5, and the limit for m value should be known. No, that is given here. X equal to 0, so on to maximum limit is 20,000. Maximum limit is 20,000 is given. So how to find out the expectation step? As I already gave you the formula here, using if you refer the formula clearly, we have in exponential form because mu and sigma are involved. Okay, this formula will be referred here as mu and sigma are referred. We have the probability formula here to calculate the probability of first one and second one. So for first one, first distribution, substitute the values and find it out. You will get it as 0.12 for first hypothesis distribution 1. and 0.06 for second hypothesis distribution 2. Got it? So we have two values now. These are the probability values here, and then go for the next step. This is the next step. What we observe here, we need to find out the probability of the total, that is expectation is calculated here, isn't it? So this is the expectation step. What we are doing, this formula is substituted here. Got it? 0.12 by 0.12 plus 0.06. Okay, so we have the output as 0.66, and similarly do for the second one. So second one means 0.06 by the total will get 0.33. So these are the expectations for distribution 1 and distribution 2. Similarly, now we need to find out the maximization step. Okay, so this is the formula for maximization step. You can recollect it in the previous case which I have mentioned here. This is the one which I am using here. Okay, can you recollect? Are you following or not? Actually, problem won't be there. Just you have an idea of the algorithm clearly. Got it? So you can have this example. Substitute the values, known values here. Okay. Once you substitute for mu1 and mu2 differently, this is for mu1 and this is for mu2. So if you follow, you can make a table for each mu1, mu2. See, first to calculate this, mu is taken. Again, to calculate mu1 dash, mu1 will be taken. To calculate mu1 double dash, mu1 dash will be taken in the formula. Can you get my point? In expectation, we need to use that. Okay, so here mu, initially mu is taken for calculation. So I'll mention it as mu1. Then again to calculate mu1 dash, I take mu1 here. Again to calculate mu1 double dash, what I have to do, mu1 dash will be taken. Got it? This one. So in each iteration for expectation step, the step proceeds. How long I have to continue means, if I frame the values as a table, first time I'm getting -2, second time minus 3.74. Again if I repeat, at last I'm getting same values. The red ones indicated here. The same way mu2 also is done. Until I have the same value, the procedure, the algorithm will continue. If I have the same value, the iteration can stop. Okay. So what about the merits and demerits over here means, EM algorithm can be used with different types of distributions. While I explained, I talked about normal distribution. For this problem, we have taken Gaussian distribution. Likewise, for any type of distributions, EM algorithm can be used. Okay, that is one plus point, and provides a quite general approach to learning in the presence of unobservable variables. So unobservable variables in the sense, as I told you, branch and gender. This becomes unobservable. It is not much required, but based on that, we can select the best output. Okay, so these variables are taken as unobservable variables. Actually, all the algorithms won't provide this feature. Okay, so in EM algorithm, what is the specialty means, unobservable variables are only used to find out which one is best. Got it? And what about the disadvantage here means, if you have 1 or 2 data, EM is okay or not. I mean, up to some 100 you can follow EM. If it is in more than that means very difficult. This logic will be very slow now. Okay, because more calculations are here, isn't it? So the demerit, the disadvantage of EM is, if you have large set of data, it is very difficult to use this EM. You can use EM, but it takes more time for calculations and all. Okay, and then it does not work well when the cluster contains few points. So if the cluster is having few points in the sense the hypothesis values are less means you can't correctly estimate. Okay, if I just go for only grading, I can't say this student is best. because he may lag in software features. He don't have logical thinking. He is a bookworm. Then whatever I am selecting, that student is not best for me, for my requirement, right? Isn't it? Can you get my point? See, if the hypothesis is less, then we won't get correct output. The student is a bookworm. He mug-ups and writes the exam and scores good mark. But what is my criteria? I need a person who is having good logical thinking, good at practical work, and good knowledge. So these three criteria should be satisfied. Just taking my guess and that itself, single hypothesis is not sufficient. So that's what this point says. Okay, that is, does not work well when cluster contains few points. Okay.
Thank you for watching.